Welcome in, friends. How is everybody doing?
Pretty good.
I found my visa and left, Nathan says. I was muted. I don't know what that means. I thought they said hello from Scotland.
Wait, did he say he just found like his work visa, like to the United States, but then just left the country?
Yeah, I think so.
I knew he was a robot. He was
Do
here.
they give robots work visas?
He was here on a work visa. Now he's headed back to the.
Well, if he was a robot from another country.
Well, he's probably from another planet.
Oh, that makes more sense.
You would still need a work visa because you're still an immigrant, right? You're still a a foreigner.
I guess is there anywhere that specifies it has to be from the planet Earth?
They literally call them aliens.
Whoa.
You know
he's got
who
it.
is an alien.
Like, called aliens.
Listen, I got to say, my Detroit Lions beat the Green Bay Packers the other night, and I loved it.
That was pretty great. Honestly, and number 7, whoever that guy was that plays for Green Bay, should literally never play another down of football again.
The Packers should have had
he is an enormous
45 yards of penalties right in a row.
I mean, that guy is an enormous sack
What's
of
up,
shit.
Brett? Yeah.
Seriously.
I watched someone play an indie horror game where they took Garfield the cat and turned him into a demonically possessed character.
Can I ask
And
how
it was
we segued
wild.
into this from football?
Yeah, I don't see the connection. And
Is
also,
it because the lion is a big cat?
Sure, we could go there. They're both cats.
you know, lions eat lasagna too, except for they turn animals into stuff that looks
It's
like
lasagna, yeah.
Yeah, kind of.
Except it's brown.
You know, I knew there was a reason I didn't like lasagna.
You don't like
It's
lasagna?
the ricotta cheese.
Nah, bro.
I got
cheese.
It's the ricotta cheese.
Filled with cheese.
It's filled with cheese.
Nathan,
Some of
my
my favorite things are
posts
filled with
were not
cheese.
cryptic at all. You just because you didn't know, didn't make them cryptic, right? It was just a layer of understanding. If you don't know, Nathan, it's usually sports ball.
He put it into English on Facebook instead of a series of zeros and ones, so
Yeah.
I could see how it was confusing for you.
Binary
That makes
code.
it. Does that make it? Okay, is it cryptic? Is cryptic is something being cryptic? Is that subjective?
I don't think so.
Well, I mean, because like if you think about it, so like
Well,
a message about football, Nathan doesn't understand,
yeah, but
right? I'm not being cryptic.
No, you're-
but like he doesn't understand the language.
but you're not being cryptic. That's the thing. Cryptic has a level of intentionality behind it. So you gotta like, if you're being cryptic, you're intentionally doing it. You can't like, you see what I'm saying?
I would
Sure.
go as far
Yeah.
as vague. You're
Like-
being vague when you say he missed it.
Yeah, that's
Everyone's like, "What
that-
you talking about, buddy?"
yeah, that would be
Unless you were
vague.
there.
But it's,
He did
it's not-
miss it, though.
Cryptic would be like talking in codes. They'd be like you saying something about the Detroit Lions, but you're not talking about the Detroit Lions. You're talking about something else.
It meant effectively nothing.
is
when he missed it,
ambiguous
by
a
the
better
way.
word than cryptic?
Ambiguous, maybe.
Yeah, that'd be similar to vague.
I see to your
Well,
point.
ambiguous is confusing, not
See,
vague, right?
I gotta say, I was super
it could be
excited.
confusing by. It could be vague,
Yeah.
confusing because it's vague,
Maybe.
but it's not by right. Right? Are we saying this right?
I think so.
Garfield has interjected too much
I
into this
just
conversation.
can't. I can't.
Dude, it was wild though. It was crazy. Like you find Garfield the cat, and then he sends you in the basement, and there's like all these sigils and stuff in the basement. And Garfield's up there like, "Hey, you got to paint over the sigils for me, please."
Is this one of those things?
I
that,
don't like this.
Yeah, I didn't either.
Help
it was
me
very
cover up my
weird.
ritual runes.
Well, he took. So are you
Was he
aware?
summoning lasagna?
Do you? Well, here's the thing. He makes you cook lasagna later, and it accidentally burns down the house. But so he takes.
What are we talking about?
You know his owner, John?
Yes.
He strips him naked in a room and makes him cut out his tongue.
So, I'm sorry, was
because
this a-
he
was this
disobeyed.
Okay, we got to mute Brad.
Was this
Mike.
some
This
kind
is
of
getting
show
way out of hand.
or a game?
This is a game. Yeah.
A game? I hate this.
This is an indie creator, so like not like
Is this one of those things that like Garfield is now in the public domain, like Winnie the Pooh? Have you seen the Winnie the Pooh horror movie?
No, because I don't want to. It
Oh,
sounds stupid.
I don't think it has. I don't think it's come out yet.
I think it came out this.
Sorry.
You're very loud.
Yeah, well, there's trailers for it.
The sound of God.
Oh, I thought it came out around Halloween.
Oh, maybe.
Yeah, I saw the trailers for it. but
Anyone can share their nightmares with you. That is horrific.
Yeah,
He says with like a giant happy face.
it was definitely like the whole thing was definitely like.
Well, we should have had a Mickey
bizarre,
Mouse
but-
Slayer by now, but Disney makes sure that doesn't become public domain.
Yeah,
they're
That
very
damn mouse
protective
has
of that
rewritten
IP.
copyright law. Did you know about that?
for like
Yes.
for like 60 or
I've heard
70
about some of
years.
it, yeah.
They've. I don't like Disney.
Well, it was 70 and then like 80. Didn't they push it to 90?
I think it's like 100 from.
The
It was.
death?
Oh no, I think it's in the 90s, but like, or
It was
125 from
originally,
the when it
60 or
started
70
being worked
years.
on.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah,
No, it
yeah.
was. I try hard. It's been getting harder and harder not to give those damn people my money. They just start buying more and more stuff.
Well,
It's
right. Like you consume
wanna-
something unintentionally, Disney.
Exactly right. Like it's just getting harder and harder.
Well, yeah, like with the acquisition of Fox and all that. So like.
Exactly. It sucks.
Da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Okay, so
They own
speaking of
ESPN.
acquisitions, we're going to talk a little bit about the D&D thing.
the
yes.
OGL 1.1.
So what is that? Is that their license?
So
Open gaming license?
It's their open
Oh,
gaming license. So basically, there's been the same license in place for the last 20 years.
Okie dokie.
And so now they've gotten their legal team together and they've rewritten the open gaming license, and it will retroactively apply to all past products as well as all future products.
What's it do?
So,
Well, the open gaming license originally was so that you could have supplemental material using the D&D core system, right?
yes.
Yeah.
So you had Lord of the Rings D&D, right?
that
So-
was published, right?
Yeah, so like it was an open gaming license, so you could use the core D&D system. It was 3 and 3.5, I want to say.
Yep. And
I see. So you could
So
publish.
there were hundreds of different D&D supplements, but you had like a monk, like a Shaolin monk one. You had a
Yeah.
D&D one. Right?
I see. So
you had
people.
horror variants.
So independent publishers. This wasn't Wizards of the
you
Coast.
could just
right?
take the system and build
okay.
a gaming supplement.
So
around
basically,
it.
they're just copywriting
for free, right? There was no royalties due.
Exactly.
Okay,
nothing.
yeah. So basically,
like,
they're just
Acropolis
copywriting
Games,
their
Acropolis
stuff.
Games could have like
That's what it is.
we could have gotten together and like published a supplement, sold it to
Sure.
people,
yeah.
all that, etc.
Yeah.
The YouTube guys did that. They have their own
yeah.
D&D book. What's it
Yeah.
called?
It led to the creation of Pathfinder. That's
See,
right,
I thought
Brent?
Pathfinder was
Yeah.
people that were fed up with 4.0, so they
Yeah.
left and expanded on 3.5. That's what I
I mean,
had
that
originally
may have been like the inception of it.
yeah, I think that's. What
And
it
actually, I
was.
think Pathfinder was coming like around 3.5. Actually,
it might have.
I thought
been
they
a-
just wanted to keep 3.5, so that's why they didn't go to 4.0.
I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know what's older. Because that was my original thought too. Was they wanted to keep 3.5. So
That's
they
what I was
created
told
Pathfinder.
when I opened the store.
They also used to be they were ex-Wizard employees too. They used to work on D&D.
Oh, okay.
So like.
Well,
but that's-
Wizards is owned by Hasbro now, so go ahead.
Okay.
so there's a lot of things that OGL 1.1 does, which is the new version of the open gaming license. They crack down on all of this independent stuff.
Okay.
There's one of the really popular things people do with D&D is they play like remotely. So like
Yeah.
there are
Roll20,
they
stuff
call
like
them virtual tables or
Yeah.
things like that, where like you can like roll the dice on the screen and everything, and it's like a chat room. You have everyone's video, and they have all their features like that.
Yeah.
They are completely revoking the ability to have D&D content on anything that's not directly owned by Hasbro. So
Wait.
so like if
So
there was
Roll20.
so
Roll20, for
if
instance.
Roll20 may be built in as an exception because they're so big, like they may pay
What do
pay
they?
Wizards
What do
for
they?
that right.
What do they have that's built in that they would be able to? So do they have like rules on their website or something from the rule books and stuff?
It
or-
might apply to stuff like art,
So
like
it's
Kobold.
Oh, it probably does,
anything that's terminology from the books. Anything that
You can't really
is
copyright words,
but
though,
you
right?
can't-
right, but like their rules systems you can.
Yeah,
so
but
if you say like
they can't stop you. They can't stop anybody from getting on Skype together and playing this over.
No, that's not what he's talking about.
Right,
That's
but
not-
like these are
he's
like,
talking about a platform.
these are platforms that are built to host these types of things. Where like there's like features built into it where you can reference rules. You can things of that nature.
Okay, so
They're
yeah,
gonna,
okay, so the program itself has directly has D&D
Or like a
stuff built into
Battlescribe
it.
type
Okay,
app. Right?
yeah, it'd be
There's like a class
it'd be
building
like a-
app.
it'd be like
Battlescribe would be
Battlescribe,
strictly
okay.
prohibited from anything like that. They
Yeah.
wouldn't be allowed to do this.
I think
There's-
Battlescribe disallowed by GW, but it's community maintained, so they can't do anything.
Yeah, they can't do anything about it. So long as I guess they're making money off of it, but I think it's purely donations, and since it's donations, they can do whatever they want.
There are all these independent like people that make supplements and everything.
Mm-hmm.
Once they reach a certain
750.
threshold, if you're making over 750,000,
Yeah,
then you have to pay 25% royalty to Wizards of the Coast.
Eesh, that's. I actually don't know if that's steep or not, honestly.
Now this will also
25%
also
royalty.
applies to like Critical Role is like the first thing that everyone thinks of when they hear about like D&D, like that type of content. Critical Role it previously had a deal built in with Wizards and everything, so they're probably getting something special because of how huge they are. But like, say that we wanted to start doing that, we wanted to go on Twitch and we wanted to start playing D&D and everything. If we hit a point, we would have to start paying that royalty to
Just because we were playing D&D
because
on
we're
Twitch?
using their game.
On Twitch?
Yeah. Because we're using their content to create a revenue source.
I think this is just greed. And they're gonna shoot themselves in the foot.
Yeah,
man.
I think that's gonna be part of it. That's wonky. I don't. That would be like saying you have to pay a microphone company royalties because you're using it
absurd,
to creating.
right?
Yeah, but that's. Can they do that?
Well, they're gonna until
They're
they
gonna-
can't.
they're gonna-
Until they can't.
They're gonna
right?
try. I don't think they can do that. Like you said, they're gonna try, but like that's not. That's very like if you were directly selling their stuff or directly like using their stuff like to make money, kind of like that, then yeah, they could do that. But like simply playing their game on a platform, I don't think you would.
If you're doing it for free, no. But like if you're using it to draw revenue, then no. Also, that's
know,
gross.
man.
I don't think that's possible.
Like that's like their threshold is like a gross amount. That's not profit. So like
Yeah,
it's crazy.
that's
Nathan said
that's
it sounds like
wacky.
GW and fan content a bit.
A little bit, but this sounds
GW
worse.
is not nearly as gratuitous.
No.
No, the fan content
Like-
thing was very short-sighted.
Yeah,
from
there,
GW.
there's a lot of
They're stepping back on that one too.
a
so.
ton of backlash from the D&D
Yeah.
community on this. This
Oh,
is
I
huge.
bet. I don't even know why companies go through with stuff like this anymore. But
Yeah, this
No,
is.
it's-
I can't really. I mean, Wizards makes money hand over fist. I don't
Well, they-
understand why they had to do this.
Well, Hasbro
owns them.
They
and
have
they make so much money, but
they did something with Magic where like Magic had a very big year in 2020. Like a lot of hobby centric things did,
yeah,
and they're like, well, we need to double that in 2021.
yeah.
So they came out with all kinds of product. All they're just trying like this year. You guys don't know this because you don't play Magic or care about it. They came out with a product, literally a product that was proxies. It was $1,000 for I want to say 3 packs.
what do you mean proxy?
So like you could get a Black Lotus card,
Oh, you can get.
but
their
it wasn't
expensive-
legal in any format. It was literally a Wizards printed proxy.
I see what you're saying. So it wasn't the real card. It was.
Well, it was a real card for
It
all.
was
I
a
mean,
real
if
card
it
for all
walks like
intents
a
and-
duck, smells like a duck, and is the card picture
right,
of a
but
duck.
like if you go, but if
But
you
it's
go
not the
to
original. It's almost like producing a counterfeit
But
themselves.
yeah,
right?
Is
yeah.
it like extremely? What do you mean they were They're fakes. They're like,
essentially a fake.
but
yeah.
it's a
Yeah.
card.
You know, it was real and it was
It was
printed.
a real card.
But
It was
like
a
you know
fake,
the
though.
set symbol,
Yeah.
Yeah.
it wasn't the original set symbol. So
Yeah.
it was,
Exactly.
So it's a new set symbol.
Yeah, it's like the proxy symbol. We'll say.
yeah.
So people paid $1,000. It's either 3 or 5 packs. I can't remember.
But
yeah.
and none of the cards were legal.
But I don't understand why.
They're trying to print money.
Yeah.
Yeah, but
They're trying to gouge collectors $1,000.
so I guess I'm confused of why a collector would want that item.
Well, Warhammer's too expensive to get into.
I'm never gonna complain about
Yeah.
an $80 kit from GW now.
yeah,
Jeez,
no,
oh,
but like,
please.
but that's not a
insane.
genuine item though. So like, I don't understand why you would want to collect it.
It was just to hit
I mean,
that.
yeah.
Wizards put it out just to hit their volume.
Yeah.
I don't know how well they did, but
I mean,
Yeah.
what, you sell 3 of them? Okay, yeah. Thanks for the $3,000, guys.
well, and you think about what it cost them to make, literally nothing.
Yeah, they're
Yeah.
cards.
Well, they probably reprinted art, so they didn't have to pay an
Well,
artist. to
it
make
was
anything.
all reprinted. That was the point of it.
It was all reprinted except
was
for the
100%
sets,
reprinted.
except for the set symbol.
Yeah, so you
so
pay a
it's literally
guy
just pulling up a file.
$100 to go
Right.
change 15 card symbols.
Probably costs like 5 cents to make one of those cards. Ink's expensive. It might cost more.
Oh, it's very frustrating. But like,
But yeah, no.
that's what Hasbro is. Hasbro. Oh, excuse me. Oh. They got rid of all distribution to stores. They went strictly through Amazon.
yeah, they go through.
So
strictly
they got
Amazon
rid of the
now.
MSRP on Magic boxes,
Yeah.
right? So now they don't tell you what their product should sell for.
Yeah, that's absurd.
They did it so that Amazon can sell the boxes at cost.
Yeah.
You know, sellers on Amazon and Amazon itself can sell the
Yeah,
boxes at dirt cheap.
Yeah.
And
Well, it
the
helps.
stores can't do anything.
Yeah, it helps Wizards and it helps Amazon, but
Well, it kills their
kills
games.
everyone else. Kills everyone else.
So, one of the other things that is specifically outlined in the 1.1 is crowdfunding platforms. So like Kickstarter
Okay.
and all like those kind of like cousin
Any kind of
Yeah.
crowdfunding.
Kickstarter is mentioned specifically where they get a 5% discount on the royalty. So you only have, if you kickstart a program that has anything to do with D&D, period,
You only have to pay us 5%.
you only have to pay 20%.
So they got
Every other platform is still 25%.
So they got some deal with Kickstarter, like, hey, we'll split the 2.5% here, and then it's extra money we get.
But it's still
Yeah,
like
that's what it
if you have a if you have a 300,000 goal and it explodes and you reach like 1.3 million, 20% of your revenue,
Yeah,
just
man.
gone.
Yeah.
Before you've made the product.
Yeah, before your
Well,
product
this
even
is,
exists.
Yeah, I mean this. I've got mixed feelings on stuff like that because you are using their IP,
Sure.
but and intellectual property theft is a problem. But
Yeah, but that's not what you're doing.
kind of not right. But you're still still
What about GW?
stealing their.
What about Mini Wargaming?
What do you mean?
Are they stealing intellectual
No,
property?
But they're using Games Workshop's intellectual property to make battle reports. That's what they're called. God, it's been so long.
That's a
but-
symbiotic relationship. Like
what-
Yeah, exactly,
Mini
but-
Wargaming exists because of GW, but GW also prospers because of them.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, so does Wizards of the Coast because
Exactly.
they're content creators.
Like-
yeah, I don't necessarily disagree with that. When you're selling a product with the D&D name on it, like that.
Are they
So
doing
you're
that?
probably not so much saying hey D&D, but it's
I would
like
agree with that.
you're probably
Yeah,
using
that's what I mean.
cut and clear terminology from the D&D genre. I don't think anywhere on like if it would say they were making a book that they're allowed to put Dungeons and Dragons
So,
right on it.
so here's my problem. Then if they're not putting Dungeons and Dragons on it, then how do they know that it's a D&D product?
Well, more importantly, how do the customers know? Because I was just going to say that.
Yeah.
Like if you make a book that is compatible with 5th edition, how does the average customer know without saying compatible with? I guess
Yeah.
you could pull.
So I'm saying it's not right on the cover of the book or
Sure,
like
well,
in the book or whatever.
other
But in
people
a
do these things.
description, it would have to say something.
But it might
would
not.
have
It
to.
might not. It might be able to because this stuff happens with GW. It's like compatible with popular science fiction miniatures games.
Oh, yeah, you're talking about third-party miniatures?
Yeah, so you can, like this supplement is compatible with popular D20 rolling, D20 systems.
Yeah, exactly. So
Is
like,
D&D the D20 system?
It's the biggest. without a doubt.
Well, sure,
Yeah.
but
Is
like,
it
did they create?
Oh,
Hello, John.
Pathfinder is a D20.
So
system
this
as well.
this corresponds with D&D 1, right? So
Yeah.
D&D 1, they're pushing to be all digital. I've heard, right?
I have not heard that.
I've
but
heard that from several different people.
Yeah.
Brent mentioned earlier that you won't be able to play unless you have subscription to the app. These
Oh,
are all
that's so dumb.
well. Listen,
I don't hate
that very
the
much.
adoption of
Tony,
digital.
can you look up an executive from Hasbro said something about they want to monetize D&D like a video game?
I like the idea of some sort of digital companion app to go with a role playing game. I think that's a neat idea because you could.
I agree.
You could. That opens the door for tracking character sheets, showing like what monsters look like, what your own you could create like your own character creation thing, like people used to draw.
Yeah.
Like what their character looked
I
like.
love every
you
bit
can-
of that.
Now you can come up with their own. So I like the idea of that. The problem is when they take it too far. The really funny thing is these companies usually suck at it though too. So take GW, right? Take their
Their apps have been terrible.
Yeah, their app ever since its
improved
launch.
by leaps and bounds, but it's,
It's still bad. Like their army creation stuff is not intuitive. It's clunky. The rules.
my biggest problem is it keeps deleting my list. It hasn't done that in a while, but
rules references. Like if you want to find a rule in your codex, it is a pain in the butt.
yeah,
Like,
there's no
if
excuse for that.
You're looking for one specific stratagem. There's 40 stratagems in the book. You got to scroll through every stratagem, and if you don't know everything's in alphabetical order. But if you don't know the name, then you're screwed.
Yeah, so it looks like they described it as under monetized.
Okay.
And I think they said under monetized compared to video games, which implies that it is their intention to monetize it like a video game. Although I don't know if they outright said that.
Sure,
Yeah,
I got you.
And like I said, I don't necessarily have a problem with a little pay companion app that gives you all those different options. I think that's a win-win for both them and the consumer. But like, if you're gonna hide all of your content behind a subscription fee just to play
I hate that a
tabletop game in which you can
I think they
used to
will.
be able to hard copy rules, it's also not going to work because like
You'll see massive pirating.
well, yeah, exactly. You'll pay a one-time subscription fee. You'll either screenshot all the rules, you'll copy them down one way or another, and then you'll cancel it. And now you've got all the rules, and you paid $5.
Yeah.
So in some ways, it might screw them because the people who really don't want to pay it are going to pay less than they would if you would have just printed a damn book in the first place.
Just do it
I don't
once
think
and share it with
D&D
all your friends.
Beyond. I don't think, hey Nathan. I don't think D&D Beyond is as robust as what Brad is describing.
It's probably
Brad's
not.
describing an app that I would like.
Yeah.
For
I think it'd be cool. I would use it for more than just D&D, but it would be neat to have in a lot of different role playing games, at least fantasy role playing
Sure.
games.
So you're talking about like a Discord with integrated like point systems and
Yeah, like something with character sheet tracking.
Yeah.
character
and, like,
sheets would be great in an app because D&D is like it's overly.
it's like a database built into like a Discord.
There's too many
Kind of,
things that
yeah.
are like.
And then-
here and here, you know what I mean? If there's 20 things that you get proficiency in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, that kind of stuff in an app format that has a subscription, I'm fine with. Don't lock my player's handbook behind a subscription.
Yeah, so
I think that is a very bad idea.
Let me buy my player handbook and use the code.
Yeah.
I think that's the best thing.
this would be the equivalent of GW locking your codex behind a subscription.
But you buy the physical book and then use the code and then you can redeem that
Yeah,
code.
you get both. That's a good example of GW outdoing D&D in
Yeah.
this case and not screwing over their player base like that. Because what a nightmare that would be if you had to just go to a store, spend $50.
I don't think
like, "Here's your
GW's
code
worried
for your
about being
book on your app."
under-monetized,
It's
though.
like,
GW's found a way to monetize fully.
GW's doing fine. They're having, aside from COVID, they've been killing it.
Listen, man, I mean, anecdotally, like, owning a store, I can definitely say that, like, that role players are an under... How would I say it?
Underserviced or
No,
under?
no,
Like an
they spend much less than other groups.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
You know what I mean? So if somebody's just a
Yeah.
D&D guy or just a role-playing guy, like, they might get a book here and there, but,
Yeah.
you know...
Although the impression I've got is that like kind of the whole idea behind it, not really idea behind it, but
They're not a big consumer base.
right. Well, it's basically nobody pays unless they feel like it, except for the DM.
Yeah.
And that's
Right,
even
the
pretty
one
much
guy
the
that
extent
wants-
that they feel necessary.
The one guy that wants to drive the
Right.
story home. He wants to run the game. We'll make sure he has this.
Right.
So you got one person out of an entire group
Right, that
who's
has
paying
all the
as little
books.
as they want.
Exactly.
Yep.
And that's usually how it goes. Is usually not every player is going to have their own player handbook. It's usually just the GM. He might
We
have
learned
one or two. And
from our first role playing experience ever, where we were playing a prototype game and there was one book.
yeah,
And leveling up was a nightmare.
yeah.
Yeah.
So like,
Tony,
Yeah.
could you bring your volume down just a hair?
Yeah.
Thank you.
I like hitting your ears like that.
But yeah, no, it's I think a lot of this will bite them. Like every time I've seen a company do this in the past couple years, it always bites them right in the ass.
Yeah.
Like it never works out for them, and people usually find workarounds and stuff. There was a tongue twister. There was a popular indie developer, Mob Games. They made a new indie horror game called Poppy Playtime. It's actually really good and really popular. Well, there's the story surrounding it's kind of a mystery, right? Well, they hid some of the story bits behind NFT purchases
Oh my God.
that you had to buy, and there was like it was a card, and if you flipped the card over, there was like some extra information on the back, and there was like some hidden voice stuff behind it, and they got shellacked.
What's this for?
When they did
Who
this,
did this?
it was a video. It was an indie video game developer. They're called Mob Games. Is the produce?
okay.
You might have heard of it. They got hit hard for it, and so
You're familiar with like the concept of consumer surplus, right? So you have the supply and demand curve, right?
Yeah.
But there's always
yeah.
people that have a little bit more money that can go above where that intersects.
Yeah,
You know what I'm
sure.
talking
Yeah,
about?
yeah.
So
yeah,
there's
yeah,
like that
yeah,
little
yeah.
triangle on the top of the graph
Yeah,
that's called consumer surplus.
yeah.
And like, how do you squeeze the money out of those people, right?
Yeah.
So like, it's those extra. It's the completionist people.
Yeah,
Like,
right.
or I need the collector's edition of this codex. That's all that stuff is.
Nathan's reaction was basically what the community did.
Well, I mean,
it was NFTs. I rage. That was
Yes.
the whole reaction.
What
to
makes
they did.
something
They will
fungible?
never do that again.
Is fungible duplicable? Duplicatable?
Fungible.
I think to be fungible means to be able to be duplicated.
I think it.
NFT, like non-fungibles.
I think it's like sellable.
I don't know, but
Replaceable.
Okay, it's not replaceable.
Okay, so not necessarily duplicated.
Yeah. So the
But
total
replaceable by an identical item. So like dollar. Like if I give you a $20 bill,
means duplicatable.
you could any
That
$20
20
bill.
is unique, though.
Yes, but you really don't care probably.
No.
Sure.
Well,
so is this fungible? This mug,
It's duplicatable. So
I mean, theoretically, you could order another one.
right? But this mug is like, if this one breaks, there's never another one like it.
You could order another one.
Okay, there's one similar to it, but this, you see what I'm saying? Like I'm not being a semantic ass, but
Well, you literally could like so like
I can
I know-
duplicate this. I can have a second mug that looks just like this.
right.
Yeah.
So like in court,
But the soul of the second mug is different than the soul of the
yeah,
first mug.
like it's used very frequently in court. Like if you're required to return money to somebody, you can declare that it's fungible or not. So like whether you have to return the same money that you took, or that amount of money.
okay.
What meant my brain is in a
So people have said like somebody took somebody else's money. It was cash.
Mm-hmm.
no. I'm
And
following
the
you. It's
original
just like
person
a
wants their
weird-
money back. It's like, well, I don't have your money anymore. You can't have it back. Well, the judge can declare it fungible,
Sure.
and you just have to pay that amount back.
Right. I don't have the original 10 I stole from you.
So
Right.
if something's non-fungible, if you
It can't be replaced.
So somebody was trying
so
to use the argument I was using for the mug.
So like your
So if
your
someone-
grandmother's wedding ring, non-fungible.
non-fungible, so they'd have to try to replace the value of the ring with dollars in that case.
Well, you could try. You could place it. Yeah.
You're not going to get an exact ever, especially with a sentimental
Yeah,
item. But
right.
but that's what they would do for a non-fungible. Okay, that makes sense. All
Right.
right.
Or like these microphones. You
Yeah.
can go out and buy another one.
Yeah. So the total cost of all those NFTs, I believe, was $90 in order to buy because
To get all the story elements.
because there were a multitude of the NFTs. There was like 6 or 7.
So
I
this
think.
isn't like game content. This is literally just like
This is story
bits.
content for the game. Essentially, is what you're
So
buying.
you could
here.
buy an NFT and it would have something for you.
It would
to
have a
play?
clue. No, it had nothing to play.
Oh,
it was a
nothing.
clue to the
Mutually
overall
interchangeable.
story.
I don't really know what an NFT is.
It's like
a
digital
non-fungible token.
It's
so it's a unique item.
It's digital art. It's
right,
like,
but it's unique. It can't be. Well, it's a blockchain.
Yeah, it's
so it's like Bitcoin.
Okay.
Right. So there's only X amounts of them.
Yeah, basically, yeah.
So the stupid picture of a monkey.
Think of, you remember Rainbow Pop-Tart Cat or whatever it was called?
Nyan Cat.
Yeah.
Neon Cat?
Yeah.
Is that
Neon or yeah.
Yeah, Neon Cat or whatever. Yeah, that was made into an NFT. And now there are only so many Rainbow Pop-Tart Cats out in existence.
There might
right?
be 10 of them.
So
right?
think of that as Bitcoin.
Yeah.
And that's what an NFT is.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Well, it's the blockchain is to the blockchain element of it
is to make sure
to signify that like this is one of 10.
Exactly. Yeah.
Right.
It's to verify.
Yeah.
It's to verify its authenticity.
Yeah, and I think for those, like, obviously you can just copy and paste the
Right, but
the
it's
digital item. However, I don't think you can make another token out of it.
Right.
Maybe not. Yeah.
That's what makes it
I know Trump
non-fungible.
made
Right.
like a bunch of NFTs and was selling them to people.
I don't want to talk about that.
For a lot of money.
Dude, the
Yeah.
NFT thing
For a
has
lot of
passed.
money.
Let me tell you, you want to talk
Yeah.
about the Overton window? That thing is closed.
It makes no sense. Why would you? I
Dude,
can't.
it blew up for I would say
because
6
the
weeks.
people, some of the people
it was
who
longer.
made them made millions of dollars. Like there was, it was someone. It wasn't Kanye West, but it was someone like of that.
That makes sense, Nathan.
It was someone like of that level of fame made an NFT and literally sold it for like $6 million.
Well, people were literally just taking pictures of themselves, like celebrities, and
then
making
authenticating it.
yeah,
in
like
blockchain.
this is one of 100. Like,
Yeah.
you know,
Wasn't
whatever.
that video of Madonna giving birth to a tree an NFT?
I'm glad it's quieted down.
Speaking of Games Workshop, did you see the new kits that were coming out?
No. What kits?
You didn't see them? They're very neat. So they're doing boarding patrol kits.
Oh, are they? They're not new models. They're
they're bundles.
They're bundles.
There was one new model.
Was it?
New-ish model we've already seen, but it wasn't boarding patrol kit. It was an extra one for Arcs of Omen. It was a Chaos Space Marine kit that included the new Demon Prince.
Oh, did it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So it's
Do they have the new one or the old
it
one?
had the new one. It had the new one. So it
Well, I do have
it
a
launched
return
for
label for
Sigma,
the
right?
original one that I got in the email today. So the original one's
There-
probably going bye-bye.
there you go. So yeah.
The new one looks cool.
Yeah, it's not. I don't know if I told you guys, but it's not as big as it.
It's about
as
the
it
size
looks.
of the current one, right?
Yeah, it's about the size of the current Demon Prince.
Is it really?
I think
Yeah,
it's
so
a little
it-
taller.
It might be a little chunkier.
The portions look better.
Yeah,
too.
The current one is just he's kind of hunched.
Like and he's doing this.
He's old.
Yeah.
He's just old. But yeah, it's So the kit includes a Helldrake. It includes.
so excited for that.
it includes.
Wait, no, it's Arcs of Omen,
If I
not Boarding
didn't,
Patrol.
if I didn't already have everything I needed, I'd buy this kit. Includes a Helldrake, 10 possessed. I don't know how much the kit is. That's the only problem. 5 Terminators, and the new Demon Prince.
Well, the new Demon Prince
What?
is so cool.
That is
This is
Madonna
on-
giving birth to a tree.
This is on YouTube.
Yeah.
Did it get
art.
demonetized?
No, it's
I don't
art.
know. It is. It's age restricted, but it is an NFT, and I believe it does actually show everything.
Did you see
It
the?
sure appeared to do so.
Did you hear about Madonna getting called out because she took a picture that a Madonna fan posted? I think it was Madonna. That a Madonna fan posted, and then she took of the fan took a picture of herself, and then Madonna photoshopped her face on the younger Madonna fan's body.
No,
Yes.
I did not see that.
It was pretty funny. Because she's such a crusty old lady now.
That's fair. Hey, we're getting a lot of activity in YouTube, and I can't read any of it, man.
Yeah, anyone on YouTube, we can't really make out the messages from here.
Someone said Dakota and
Unfortunately.
posted emojis.
It's Nathan and JC
Shazad.
Jake Campbell?
Galvanil.
Nope, no idea.
Nathan says you got another person on YouTube. Is it Campbell over there?
He's usually asleep by now, but I think he might have had to do.
Said, yeah, I'm here. I don't know. I can't
Okay.
read. It's too tiny.
Just kidding. It's not him. Yeah, I played him the other day, yesterday.
Yeah.
That was a game. That was a game. Yeah.
How'd it go?
Tied 1-1.
Yeah.
It was awful.
Did you guys play then?
Yeah, we already played.
Okay.
We played.
No one talked about it.
Yeah. No, we played. Me and Campbell. That was a nail biter. He stopped me from scoring on my receive, and then going into the second half, he gets to receive, and then we just brawl it out, and I get the ball away from him on like turn 5, and I just hoof it down the pitch. I'm like, we're going. And I think I scored on my turn. It's my turn 7 going into his turn 8. But that was a wild game. He had like all 11 of his players located within like 5 squares of each other, just surrounding my players and just beating the snot out of them. I did not see that coming. So like I'm over there trying to save my players and score, and I just couldn't do both. But yeah, that was a good game. It was a nightmare.
Oh, it's Jason.
Oh,
Who?
Jason.
Sorry, it's hard to read.
Yeah, it's hard to read on YouTube. The print is the comments are so small. But yeah, so no, that was a game.
You would think YouTube would let you change that, but they don't.
Yeah, right. But yeah, no, so we played that. But we had a lot of fun. It was wild. He made like 8 3-up dodges, then picked up the ball on a 3-up, then made like 8 more 3-ups, and like that's how he scored the first time. I was just watching.
3-up, so like a bunch of stuff in tackle zones?
Yes. I was just watching him make those rolls and my jaw wide open like, you can fail at any time.
Hey,
There's this
block
one
Nathan.
player.
Put Nathan in timeout for. Can you do longer, shorter than?
It will delete every message he's posted
That's true.
if you do that.
Oh damn it! He deserves to be in timeout for what he just said.
What did he just say?
I didn't,
Don't delete it. Don't delete it.
I'm not. I'm just
Don't
seeing
do
what options are here.
Oh, gotcha. He said he plays Steve tomorrow and he's nervous.
Oh yeah, put him in timeout for that.
Steve's playing Snotlings, right?
Yes.
Yes.
I mean, if there is literally anyone in the league that is equipped to deal with Snotlings, it would be dwarves.
I talked to Steve yesterday about
Yeah.
this. He's like, I'm going up against Nathan, and I'm gonna try to hurt him as much as possible. I got 22 well, first of all, before he said all this, I was like, Nathan's going to kill you. And he's like, I got 22 Snotlings, bro. I'm like, he's going to get 22 casualties, bro.
Yeah.
Like,
You're going to wish you had 42.
Yeah, it's not going to go well if you are, especially if you're this cocky. Like, it is not going to go well.
I need better eyes. I cannot see.
Dude, it's not your eyes.
It's not your eyes.
Just,
it's rough. I can.
For some reason, we can't increase the size
Jason,
of
get on Twitch.
Yeah, come over to Twitch, buddy. But I mean, does he run 2 pump wagons and 2 trolls? Do you know?
I think so.
Then he's got
He does
the
not.
tools.
I don't think he has 2 pump.
He might only
Really?
have 1 pump wagon. I don't know. I kind of know what he's setting himself up to do. I kind of helped him do it. So we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Well, 2 bombers could be cool.
I don't like the bombers, but
Can they both
yeah.
throw the bomb?
No, that's why you only field 1 at a time.
Yeah, I don't like.
Well,
the
I mean, that's
bombers.
one of the reasons you only.
The
field
bombers.
one.
They're basically kind of like a rando wizard. That
Yeah,
only
but it's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, dwarves are kind of going to be in one area.
That's true.
Throwing
It
a
could
bomb
be-
at them is a good idea.
It could be good.
The
It could be
idea
good
is to
against
cage,
dwarves.
and you don't want to cage against bombers.
That is true. That is true. It could be good against dwarves. I just, as a general, I don't really like bombers. But that's beside the point. So yeah, no, I talked to him a little bit. And I was like, "This is what you should do. This is how you do it."
Nathan
And
says you feed.
I gotta play him after you. So if you get 22 casualties on him, I get to play against that. So I was gonna help him a little bit. He's new anyway, so going into a match like that, my goodness. Talk about your advantages.
Tim, Jason said, "Do you want money?"
Why doesn't he have 2 pump wagons?
He said, "Okay, nice. What up, buddy?"
He's got so much money.
Hey, welcome to the show. Welcome
Hey,
to first time chat.
First time chat. He's been here before.
He's here. He's here. Okay. Listen, I want to talk a little bit more about this license and what it means.
Okay. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to derail us.
No, you're good. You're good. Before we do that, did you see the Necromunda models?
We're not getting back to the license.
The forge-rolled ones.
Which Necromunda models?
There's like a Dune Stalker
big
monster
bug thing. It's
It's
cool.
super cool.
It's
looking.
cool. Yeah.
Super cool.
Tony,
looking.
you want to pull that up on Warhammer Community?
What is it?
It was Necromunda models that they announced yesterday.
The new GT book comes out this week also.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
When's have they released a date for Arcs of Omen yet?
The first book comes out this weekend.
Ooh.
That's the GT book.
No.
no.
Isn't
Well,
it?
I mean, I don't know what they call the GT book, but there's the narrative book and there's the
Okay.
We haven't talked about the balance data slate, have we?
We have not, and we probably
No, I think
should.
it came out this weekend, didn't it?
The balance
did.
data slate? Yeah, it came out
after the last show.
It might have been the same day we played. Now that I think about it.
Go back.
it's
Go
up
back
to-
up.
it'll be
Tony.
up
Because
to
I
the top.
remember,
Yeah.
I remember
Go to the
talking to
front
you about it. It
page,
might have been the
Tony.
day before. I remember talking to you about it that day. Yeah, because we didn't talk about that and how cheap Marines just got.
They're on the right.
My goodness.
Down. There you go.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah, these things are really cool.
Romunda neck. I'm going to Romunda
That's
all over
super
your
cool.
neck. That is neat.
Show the people, Tony.
What is it?
Show the people what they want.
They,
It's Forge World Necromunda stuff, but it's cool.
Those are Forge ones?
Yeah.
It's a dog.
Uh,
It's a cute puppy.
It's a dog. I want one as a pet.
Necromunda feels like Fallout to me.
I mean,
Especially now that they're like
the-
out, they're in the
this
waste.
expansion
Yeah,
is going kind of in the Fallout direction.
More
40, the 40K setting covers a lot of different like genres and
Yeah.
tropes. It's in some areas
Steals
it's
from them, in
very
fact.
in some areas it's very cyberpunk. In some other areas it's very steampunk. Like it goes.
Stay away from steampunk. What were you gonna say,
It
Tony?
goes
Oh, I
all
feel like
over
I'm
the
picking up
place.
on Borderlands looks.
Well, that's
Oh yep. I can see that.
steampunk's your AdMech stuff.
Yeah,
like-
there's a reason I don't love a lot of it. Some of it I really like.
Yeah, but so
Like,
like
that looks
and some of your
cool.
like Inquisitor stuff.
That weapon's kind of cool. It's like it's made from like the chitin of that creature.
That is a
Gothic
weird
punk.
word.
That's
Chitin?
another one.
Yeah,
Very strange.
I've always said chitin, and like apparently that's wrong. So
I don't
chitin.
know.
The first time I saw the Tyranid box, I was like the chitinous swarm, but it's the chitinous swarm.
I guess.
I bet that's just a British pronunciation. And
What
they're,
is-
and they're dumb.
Is it chitin or?
I always thought it was chitin, but I don't know. I'll Google it.
Yeah, because I've always thought it was Chitin as well. But
I don't know.
We're probably not really going to go into the rules.
I'm
No,
a
we
little.
don't need- well,
yeah,
he's-
we don't need it.
I don't know how to spell it.
So what are real quick? What are your thoughts on the balance data slate? I don't know how much time we have left.
There is no. Yeah, how have we not talked about that?
Yeah.
Tonight? Armor of Contempt across the board
Gone.
is dead.
Yeah,
Gone.
yeah.
That's good for the game, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I really agree.
We'll see.
What
I would have liked the Rogel Dorn with.
I'm a little
Yeah.
I'm a little concerned about it, especially what they did with Chaos Space Marines.
Yeah.
Because they increased
cares?
they increased their Terminators cost. Their Terminators went up in points.
Who's did?
Chaos Space Marines.
Really?
Yeah, don't know why.
Mm-hmm.
But
Were they
they're
getting used a lot?
maybe, but they're more expensive than Dark Angel Terminators, which doesn't make sense at all.
Yeah, I'll be here. I'll be here Thursday, Jason.
But yeah, I feel like. But then you look at Space Marines across the board. I don't know if it's true for all Imperium armies, or at least all of them that were affected by Armor of Contempt. But points went down.
all bugs
by
and
a
40K are
lot.
Tyranids.
Big time.
Assault Intercessors are now cheaper than TAC Marines. And
What?
yes, you need to read these things. And Intercessors are now as cheap as TAC Marines.
They're the same price.
That's so silly.
Yes. I don't know why.
That's not okay.
No, I know.
That's not okay. Well,
Just- they're gonna kill him soon.
Well, the tactical Marines get free upgrades though,
They do now, that's right.
so that
And
comes out in the wash.
It's
a
not
bit.
just the TAC Marines that
How come
it's
you get a crown?
literally everything
Yeah.
is free upgrades.
Tactical Marines have a lot more they can play
take
with.
you can take 100 points in Terminator weapons for free now.
Oh God.
Dude, I told you it was a bad shift. Everything being free.
that is a bad design. Giving Terminators Cyclone missile launchers just to give them that's a bad idea, because that's just something you can do. It doesn't replace any weapons. That's just you do it.
You just glue it to their back.
Yeah. So like you can just do it.
Can you
like,
give every one of them one?
No, 1 per 5.
Oh, gotcha.
My God. Here comes 20 crack missiles.
That's some
Thunderhammers are
second
free?
edition stuff.
Yeah,
Sure.
they're all free. Yeah, all the weapon options are now free. So when I was saying my Dark Angel list dropped by like 300
That's
plus
wild.
points, I'm not joking. Everything is free.
I'll never forget when we were playing that one league.
It's
Rancher
crazy.
Ace came out, and I was playing an Eldar player, and his book just came out. He's like, "Hey, you mind if I use the new book?" I was like, "Sure, man." He's like, "Well, I got to remake the list. Well, I'm going to add 2 more flyers."
Yeah.
And I was like, "Oh."
Yeah.
Oh, and they're all -1 to hit. I'm like, "Oh."
Yeah. No, it was
an additional -1 to hit.
Yeah.
Yeah, the flyers were, yeah.
Back when -1 to hit was dumb.
Sniper rifle for what?
His AdMech.
For AdMech, no. AdMech did not get helped.
They got a lot of point drops, I thought.
I didn't read AdMech stuff.
I didn't either.
I read Space Marines, Dark Angels, and Chaos Space Marines in terms of points.
Space Marines are the only ones that got like all the free upgrades.
Tyranids got some point bumps too. Death Guard.
Some of them were by a lot.
For Tyranids?
Yeah, by in.
They haven't been able to fix that book.
Space Marine troops got sticky objective.
I hate that.
They got sticky. So if they cap an objective and walk away, they still have it.
I hate it
until it's.
That's just the rule in Sigmar, right? It's not good.
Yeah,
it's not good.
I don't think it's gonna be game changing. So like it's kind of whatever.
It's a pretty big deal because if someone just shoots you off an objective, but they can't run over there and take it.
Yeah, I guess it might matter.
Especially if it's like a backfield thing.
Yeah, it might matter. It'll matter for backfield stuff, but like I don't know. We'll see. We'll see how it affects.
Plus, I'm pretty sure that
we'll see.
What was it?
No
banners. Raise the banners. Pretty sure that got buffed.
That'll be an Arcs of Omen. So yeah,
I don't know exactly. It did change. I heard.
Yeah, that will be an Arcs of Omen specifically.
You deploy in Arcs of Omen. Apparently, you deploy your entire army.
Sorry, I was really excited.
That's what I hear.
No more.
That's what I hear.
I've heard that as well.
And then you roll off after you roll off after deployment, and the winner chooses to go first or second.
What? Thank God, yes. That's how it should be.
I agree.
If you're gonna deploy, wait, hold on.
Hang on, finish your thought and then come back to what. Look at Brad's hair.
I've been waiting. What?
Aliens.
I've been waiting 5 long years.
I've never seen Brad.
Bro, I just want you to know we could have played that game 5 years ago. We could have just done it.
What do you mean?
We could have just deployed entire armies.
That's what I've been doing this whole time. Like when I was playing Nathan during your campaign, he would like deploy one thing at a time. I'm like, dude, I've got like 6 things down. Just deploy.
I've heard.
I don't care.
I don't know.
It takes
this is
so
anecdotal,
long.
but I heard that like top tier players don't pay much attention to where stuff's getting sat down. They just do their thing.
I make sure
and then they react.
I have played against a lot of these guys, and it bothered me a lot.
I make sure things
because you're like
protected.
trying to counter deploy, and they're just like.
I make sure things are protected, and that's it. I make sure I got my obscuring and my armor saves, and my cover saves and stuff.
Jason, you know why they have hair and I don't.
But yeah, I think I don't think it added really anything to the game.
Yeah, it did. Made it slower.
Added time.
You might have given yourself whiplash, like just
when he heard it.
Like,
dude,
I wish I could have seen it.
Yeah, no, it was.
I was looking right at him as you were speaking.
I had a spasm of just excitement. All right, I'm on board for Arcs of Omen. This is fantastic. Oh, this is another change back to 7th edition that I think we need. But yeah, that's such good news. I don't even remember where I was at.
I've always
so
liked
happy.
that.
I am super happy.
I like that.
Plus, Armor of
going
Contempt's
first.
gone. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah, well, yeah. Anyway,
why don't you like Armor of Contempt being gone?
Because they didn't replace it with anything that was necessary. All they did was lower points and make stuff free. So like what we got,
like that.
Yeah, well, so that's what we got in replacement.
Strategic Reserve.
Would you rather have Armor of Contempt or free upgrades for everyone?
Do you remember
that was the count? That was the.
Do you remember
in
probably free upgrades.
in 8th edition when they decided to nerf Space Marines because they were like, hey, so you're Iron Hands, you're Imperial Fists, and you guys are just kind of you're sitting in that Devastator doctrine kind of forever, aren't you?
Yeah.
You're never going forward. It's tactical advancement and everything, right?
Yeah.
So they were like, hey, we better nerf that, and now you have to go through the steps.
And they take it away.
Completely went back on it. Now you never have to change your doctrine if you don't want to.
Is that in the balance data?
That's in the balance data slate.
I don't know how much that'll affect me because that.
Well, I mean that's going to put us right back to Iron Hands and.
I don't like that. Well, so much in the game.
Imperial Fists.
So much in the game has changed. I don't know if that'll those same lists won't work as well. It's simply because obscuring's a thing.
You won't. It was back then.
No, it wasn't.
Wasn't it?
No, that was 8th edition.
Yeah, but like you still had like bottom floor was obscuring and everything. And
I don't. Maybe I guess.
Well, that not GW wise, but that was
an
the
ITC
thing. It was widely adopted to be fair, but it was not like core.
Yeah, I don't know if we'll see if they come back with it because
I thought he said farmers of Zinch.
Went from flamers to guns.
Really?
Hey, can you go to an AI thing and type in make me a picture for Zinch farmers?
Permadoctrines.
I want AI generated Zinch farmers.
So you don't have to
I
change
only
doctrines
have the
anymore?
text version
never
of it.
required.
Go to Mind Journey.
I don't know how much that'll change my. I don't know how much that'll
Dakota
change my
is always
list and
right.
stuff, but
As long as you ask Dakota, that is a true statement.
But
There was something else. Reserves. Reserves are free.
what do you mean?
There's no more CP
you can just outflank
to
for
pay
free.
reserves. You can put anything in reserves. I think you're probably limited to half, but you don't have to pay a CP for it.
Okay.
You can just ignore that whole.
A lot of
stupid
that
mechanic.
pre-game CP stuff is moving away because there's so much less CP.
Yeah, and it just needs to be gone. We don't need that crap.
Yeah.
So now you can put stuff in reserve that you don't want to die turn one.
Yeah, I get
That's
that.
7th. That's closer to 7th.
Yeah, I get that.
And also,
That might be okay.
Arts of Omen, if you use that detachment, that's your detachment.
Yeah, you don't get anything else.
Unless you bring one of the allied, like you can bring Votan, but you can't bring the mega detachment and then be like, I need a patrol or a vanguard. You can't do that. It's one.
That's
detachment.
good at least.
Okay, that's something.
But allies may be an issue.
They were an issue in 8th. I really
They
don't.
were an issue in 7th. I mean,
they still.
That's true too.
They would still break your detachment bonuses though.
In 8th? No, they didn't.
No. I'm talking about right now. Arcs of Omen. They would still.
If you put them in it depends on what you're putting in there.
Right, but I mean, like if I'm Space Marines, I don't get my doctrines if I'm just like, hey, here's my Votan detachment. I can't do that. It would still
Your
break.
Votan detachment, I think you can. If you put them in your detachment, then no.
What am I
If
requesting?
you bring an
because
allied detachment, then yes.
I don't think so.
I think, maybe.
I'm pretty sure in doctrines, like it
Doctrines
says your
might
entire army must be drawn
That might be
from
true,
chapter
yeah.
whatever.
Because I
Now,
think
like,
your
then-
chapter tactics might be your detachment based one. Then I think.
Yes.
I think not.
What am I
I think
requesting?
I think you're actually right.
Zinch. So you're gonna have to Google it's like T.
Yeah, I got that.
Farmer. I want just
Zinch
type
farmer.
in farmers of Zinch.
Brad is
Jason said Brad is basically Slanesh in male form.
Hell yes, he
Probably
is.
my most despised chaos god ever.
Yeah.
How dare you?
I'll tell you. Listen, I'm gonna say this. Young Brad was Slanesh made.
I don't
manifest.
know. No, young Brad was like Slanesh and Nurgle got together.
He was just
and were, like,
filthy.
hanging
Listen,
out.
I showered. All right, I don't know what you're coming at.
So
here.
what do you say? What is
I
he
wasn't
now?
sick
Now he's
very
Zinch?
often.
Is there like a chaos god of hair?
That's got to be Zinch. That's just that. Yeah,
Just
the great
listen.
horned rat.
Just call it. Oh my god, it's not any better.
It's pretty
Just
horned up
call it
back
what. Just
then.
call it what it was, man. I was the god emperor of mankind. Okay.
No.
What else is there?
Literally never happened.
The
Brad,
long flowing hair. I had a flaming sword.
Brad is old now. Oh, you were the emperor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
yeah,
oh,
yeah.
hell yeah.
That
Okay.
was the.
Let's see. So yeah, you get the one detachment. I love that the points are online. Like they're out already.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? Before
It's nice. It's nice. I wish they were a bit more clear with the point changes. I wish they showed
I
the
think
actual point changes.
I think they do show now that
No,
they're magenta.
it's just it's in red, but all they do is they show it in red. They didn't show how much they went down.
Oh,
it's just
gotcha.
like it's like
gotcha.
this is so like you
They
actually
just
have
show
to,
you what's different.
Yeah, exactly. They don't actually show how much stuff went down by, so you'd actually have to have the other book to reference how much cheaper stuff got. So it's almost
they do point out the things that changed. They
But
just
they
don't
don't-
know. They don't denote what the change was.
exactly. And
Which,
just,
dude,
it's, kind of
it's still a
annoying.
huge step forward.
Yeah, I like
You
digital
can
points.
at least like, oh, okay,
Brent, I
yeah,
think
that
that's-
changed.
I
Digital
think
points.
that's the cool. Can you please? Oh God!
What is that and why?
That's Farmers of Zinch. The AI found
Well-
found models.
I can't tell what it is.
Yeah, it's you can't at all.
It's
The Farmers of Zinch, everybody.
oh man.
Awful.
Oh
hate
my
it.
god! I've been playing around with that AI stuff too, and it's actually really funny.
Chat GPT is still
The
freaky.
Yeah.
So crazy.
Yeah,
the
I'm
art
doing.
stuff, like to make fantasy worlds and characters and
it's
stuff.
very helpful.
Awesome.
It's very helpful.
There's a lot of people who are utterly outraged by it.
They're saying it's like stealing art.
Yeah.
And it's, what?
Well, I wouldn't consider it art. I think that's what they're.
Does art have to? What?
I think so.
Why is it doing it? Can you say not models? Can you like Boolean this thing?
I don't know.
You might be able to.
Like tell it you don't want models. It is madness, I guess.
Yeah, I couldn't tell what anything was, but
there's a lot of rage that AI art exists, and I don't.
Wait, people don't like that.
Yeah,
I don't like that either. Yeah. But like the cat's out of the bag.
Hold on.
There we go.
That's what I was looking for.
Years. What? Have anybody listened to a song in the past 10 years? There's your AI art. Like I'm gonna sound like a boomer for a little bit, but computer.
That's awesome.
Computer generated melodies and beats. Give me a break.
Is this from Mind Journey?
No. I couldn't find anything Mind Journey. There was like a Mid Journey that you have to sign up for.
That's what it was.
You have to sign up for it, and I didn't feel like going through that much.
That's fair. This is just a free one.
This is a free one. Yeah. This is
more Farmers of Zinch.
Send me a put it in my chat.
But yeah, I mean,
the AI art stuff's awesome, man. Like,
yeah,
that's super
it's really
cool.
Good.
Mm-hmm.
It's really artsy people, I think, that
I get it.
are really upset about it.
I get it.
Like, I don't feel like it's stealing art
it's
at
not,
all.
It's not stealing anything.
You can objectively look at something that AI art has created, and you could say, yeah, that's beautiful. That's awesome.
But there's nothing.
That looks like a human could have done it, though.
Yeah, 110%, yes.
Sure, it's you're not going to get the emotional impact out of it if.
But how would you know?
That's a good question.
I'm not an art person, so like I wouldn't. But like, it literally makes.
Have you
no
seen
difference to
some
me.
abstract art?
Oh, it's terrible.
Some of it's awful.
Yeah. Well, we're not going to talk about the modern. I forget what they call it. I think it's just
postmodernism.
Yeah, it might just be postmodern art or something like that. But yeah, we're not going to talk about that because that's all bad.
I think there's a lot of people that would still have a greater appreciation for something having known like that was created by a human hand.
Yeah, I think it's part
of
it.
And I don't think there's ever like if I showed you two things side by side and I said this one is AI art, this one was created by a person, and they were of similar style and quality.
Yeah,
I mean, you know, like
I'm sorry.
I would be hard pressed to think I would appreciate the one.
Sorry,
over the
I wasn't sure if that was the microphone or you.
No, I'm just fidgeting. I'm snapping and unsnapping my pocket.
I mean the human one. Lesser than.
Yeah, well, like I said, we've been doing computer generated art for a decade now. It's existed in music for a very long time.
Auto-tune.
Yeah, auto-tune, stuff like that. So
I've seen some like insane stuff with like AI voice changing.
Yeah.
Like I watched a video of this
guy. They get
guy.
very scary.
Yeah.
Deep fakes and all that too.
Yeah, deep fakes. Like this video, like I saw it on Joe Rogan where this guy, he literally was just like it was Morgan Freeman, like with Morgan Freeman's face.
Yeah.
And it looked exactly like him. Like a video of him talking. And like it had split on the other side of the screen, this guy just speaking into his microphone, and there was a little bit of a delay, and like he had himself, like he lined it up,
sure,
so you could tell. But like it was literally like Morgan Freeman giving a speech on like how are you ever going to actually know what's real and what's not real?
Yeah,
and it's just this guy.
Yeah, it gets deep fakes and stuff. Matt, the guys who created South Park, Matt
deep
Stone.
fakes scare me, Nathan.
Yeah.
This is a bullshit stream, Jason. You've been here for 20 minutes. You got to know that by now.
Yeah. Anyway, Matt Stone and Trey Parker, they did an entire series on deepfakes. It's actually really funny.
What's up, Nurgle Matt?
I can't remember what it's called, but you can just look up Matt Stone, Trey Parker deepfake, and you'll find it. But yeah, it's hilarious.
Hey, how long have deepfakes been? Like, I want to say like 4 years.
It's a couple years.
It's not a lot, right?
No, it's been around.
But like they've come a long way in that short period of time.
Yeah.
So what are they going to be like in 10 years?
Deepfakes.
Yeah. Scary, right?
Like
the potential.
I think about 4 years ago they existed, but like a computer had to run for like
and they weren't
a day.
good.
Like they had to render, and they were okay. But yeah.
But like okay, so somebody makes a deep fake of Putin saying he's going to nuke Ukraine,
right?
Or something. You know what I mean? Like that possibility exists.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
And like. What do you mean? Technology moves so fast. Oh, yeah. So fast. Like, look how far Photoshop has come.
This is true, but like people are also dumb.
Well, right. So the people are dumb, and then they see on the internet that Putin's nuking Ukraine.
Yeah.
Right? They don't know what a deep fake is.
Yeah, I don't.
You know?
I don't know where you're going with this, but like, I don't know if that's.
I'm just saying the potential. There's potential
Yeah,
for.
yeah.
for bad stuff
There's
to happen.
potential, but I don't know if some guy in his basement is going to be making a deep fake and start an international incident. I mean, it would.
I don't know.
Like,
Why not? Why not?
Well, what if Putin then nuked Ukraine? So like, you create a deep fake, like then is it?
I'm saying you
It's
can't
just
you
not.
can't account for random happenings and what people do. So it's a powerful tool that's scary. The
Yeah.
possibilities
Well, I
are
mean
scary.
that's
all I'm saying. I'm not saying that
There's
something
a lot of
likely.
crazy things that could happen.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. I don't know if that specifically would be like crazy randomness. That would be like that's. I mean, that's not to get off in the weeds or anything, but yeah, that's just been.
Well, sure. I mean, but like, okay, so what was it in the 30s?
Yeah.
The Mars was it not Mars attacks. You know what I'm talking about? The radio.
Oh,
program.
you're talking about War of the Worlds?
The War of the Worlds. It causes hysteria, right?
Yeah.
So
yeah.
like now we have video, but now video can be faked. Like
Yeah.
you know, so it's just there's a lot of.
Oh, I get it. Well, people are gonna have to.
Something goes viral on Twitter. Like people
Well,
don't fact check things.
Right. Well, I mean, the rule still stands as it has since the internet existed, which is don't believe everything you see on the internet.
I know. Listen, I understand that, but how many? Okay, it's the Carlin bit, right? Most
Yeah.
people are dumb, and most
Yeah, I
people are
understand.
dumber than that.
Yeah.
So it's just like I'm just saying, it's just a dangerous.
I get it.
AI is dangerous in general.
We've
right?
got rules in place for this, folks. Don't believe everything you see on the internet. We'll all be fine.
Well, you got to convey that to 1 million people, or 300 million people.
Oh,
All right,
yeah.
hey, listen, that is the deep fakiest thing I've ever seen. So thank you guys for watching. We'll see you next week.
Oh my goodness.
Hey, the Apocalypse game, January 21st. You two better be there.
I will request
January
the day
21st.
off. My regular should be. Is that a Saturday?
Yep.
Man, you
You
kill
gotta
me.
do your best, man. Do your
Kill me.
best.
I'll do my best.
There's more than that. There's more than that, Jason. And there's
Yeah,
more than that
4.
in the future.
4.
All right. I love you. Tell your grandma to be at the Apocalypse game. Love you guys. Bye.
Bye-bye.